Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Alex Smythe.
When it comes to having access to sport and recreation, historically, girls and women have been left on the sidelines. The situation is even worse for those living with disabilities. Canadian Women in Sport CEO Alison Sandmeyer-Graves explains why it is critical to ensure there is access to sport for everyone.
For one, and I think probably the obvious one, is it benefits them. We know that sport involvement is naturally important for health and mental well-being, and we want to make sure that women and girls are accessing that, absolutely. But sport also offers so much more in terms of connection to community, the opportunity to develop all kinds of qualities and characteristics that help people thrive throughout their lives, in their careers, in their education, in their families, in their communities, like resilience and self-confidence, leadership.
Dr. Gretchen Kerr, co-director for the eAlliance Research Hub, says that while other areas of society are working towards gender equity, sport is lagging behind.
We do see ourselves as progressive, and in sectors like education, business, medicine, law, we've seen tremendous advancements in terms of gender equity. So things are working in other sectors that are not working in sport. And I think part of it is the old masculine kind of ideals and norms that still predominate in sport.
So what role does the eAlliance play in solving this issue? Dr. Kerr explains.
eAlliance is a national gender equity in sport research hub that was established by Sport Canada, which is part of the Government of Canada. And it was established in 2019 as a goal to be a central resource hub for all research on gender equity in sport, as well as a hub that would generate research on gender equity in sport, because we need to know what works, what doesn't work, why things work and why they don't.
Doing the research is key to understanding the full extent of the problem. This is especially important when exploring intersectionality within gender equity, as Dr. Diane Culver, disability lead for the eAlliance Hub, explains.
In general, what we know about the parasport world is there's a lack of athletes, there are a lack of participants, there are a lack of coaches. So there's a lot of work to be done, period, in actually getting people living with disabilities into sport. But beyond that, there's just very, very little data out there on the experiences of women versus men, or even non-binary gender, even more so.
While the numbers can be discouraging when exploring parasport, Canadian Paralympic Committee CEO Karen O'Neill believes more female representation in the sports system can help change that.
I think the more we see women at every single level of our sports system, so whether it be the local community coach, whether it be the local official, whether it be the provincial executive director or the national executive director or coach, I think the more opportunities we have active, dynamic women in these roles, it just, I think, provides such a positive and solid role representation and role modeling, not only for women, but for everyone.
So the early research shows that gender equity is not where it needs to be in sport and parasport. But Alison says things are starting to trend in the right direction.
I think there's reason for optimism right now, in the sense that through the work that we're doing at the national level within sports, provincially and at the grassroots as well, there are so many people championing this, and not just individuals, but organizations who are saying, yes, we believe that this is a priority. It's a little bit of an outdated stat now, but heading into COVID, 89% of national sport organizations said that gender equity is a priority for them. we can work with that. That's a great place to be.
The Canadian government also sees gender equity in sport as a priority, committing to equitable sport by 2035. But getting to that point won't be easy.
I think we're in a better place now than we ever have been before. We got 14 more years. It's going to be a hard road. It's not going to be easy, but we're certainly doing better than we have in the past.
1, 2, 3, Canada!
And if you at home want to learn more about the fight for gender equity in sport in Canada, be sure to check out the AMI original documentary, Evening the Odds, available at ami.ca or through the AMI TV app.